Leinster edged Clermont in a poor game at the Aviva. My name is Mark. Let's talk rugby. Overall, this game lacking in a bit of quality. There were, a few quality moments, but they were few and far between. So starting off, Clermont looking to attack. Jeannot looking lively for them. Both teams throwing it around. Aggressive defenses, forcing knock-ons and turnovers. And it was one of these things where it was kind of back and forth a little bit, but they weren't making those, final passes stick. Bordeaux then steal a Leinster line out, move it, hack through, takes just a wicked deflection from Max Deegan's boot. It falls in the hands of, I think it was Fusak. He stopped just short, recycled quickly, and Raka dives over to score. Newsom adds the extras to 7 points to 0. Good carries then from McCarthy, Deegan, and Van der Fleer get Leinster into the 22. Win a scrum as Clermont knock on. Decent attacking position for them. Go through some phases after that, but eventually Porter gets isolated. Clermont over the ball and win the penalty. And at times, Clermont's defense was very good in this game. Leinster then go to the corner from a penalty for from a high tackle. Line out goes awry though, and Jeannot is able to clear it. Leinster's line out was absolutely atrocious in this game. Leinster then another skewed throw from the line out when they were looking to attack on the edge of the 22. Then there was stoppage for treatment to Moala, who took a big hit. He's off for an HIA, and I don't think he came back onto the field. And there were a few injuries on the Clermont side as well in the first half. Leinster then win a scrum penalty, go to the corner, making ground, spread it, forcing a penalty as there's hands on the ground from the ruck. They then go into the opposite corner, go through a number of phases, racking up penalty advantages, but they don't need them because Prendergast comes on a loop around Deegan, nice hands from Deegan, and then Prendergast puts Ringrose over to score, converted for 7 points all. Prendergast though then doesn't deal with an up and under. Loose ball is claimed by Clermont, surge into the 22 with numbers. Raka offloads, looks like they're gonna go over. Who is it? Tixeron, I think. Knocks it on under pressure from Barrett. Just really good defense from him. Then he starts a counter for Leinster. They come forward. Van der Fleer breaks down the left. Then they go inside. Ryan breaks the line on the right hand side. He finds Turner on the edge, ducks through a tackle. Then they're getting very close. They win a penalty 5 meters out. Jameson Gibson Park goes quickly. Barrett comes on a hard line and he's over to score. Started and finished the move. Prendergast then hits the post of the conversion attempt, 12 points to 7. Van der Fleer then hacks the ball through in midfield. He's blocked by Urda Pilata, and it's play on until the TMO steps in. Leinster go up the line from the penalty, and Upalata I think went to the bin. Yeah, but Clermont defend that well. Falgo then gets over the ball, wins a penalty at the breakdown from them. They go up the line into the 22 themselves, set up a maul, but Leinster are able to sack it. Leinster's defence then frustrates them, and an ill-judged kick leads to a mark and a clearance from Leinster. Porter then wins a penalty against former teammate Alatoa in the scrum, but it comes to nothing. Half-time, 12 points to 7. Leinster on top in the scrum, but absolutely terrible in the line-out. And both teams, in general play, the accuracy not really there. And then weather conditions worsen in the second half, and so does the handling. Clarkson then gets over the ball early in that second half, wins a penalty. Prendergast kicks that to the corner. Leinster's line-out malfunctions yet again. Clermont able to clear. Doris then puts Ryan through a gap. He carries well. Leinster recycle. Prendergast puts in a chip, but Yato steps in his way, right in front of the referee as well. Luke Pearce, decides he's going to go to the bin. Yeah, I think it was him that went to the bin. Yeah, Udo Pilata didn't. It was actually Yeah, it was Yato went to the bin. Basically did it right in front of the referee. Leinster then bring on most of their bench. Prendergast slots the penalty for 15 points to 7. And we didn't know at that stage that was actually going to be the last points of the game. Leinster then ping for offside. Clermont kicks to the corner. Good attacking chance for them. Claim the line out, but knock it on. Leinster then win a penalty at the resulting scrum. And that was the way it was. Leinster win penalties of scrums, go up the line out goes awry, and Clermont get the ball back. So no real continuity from either team to be able to actually build an attacking platform. Leinster then, as I said, on top of that scrum, win yet another penalty. Then they miss touch from those last two penalties, both missed touch. Then they begin to start upping the pace, but little mistakes, seeing otherwise slick moves breaking down. Sneeman, at one point points to his forehead, which is where Jordy Barrett's pass actually hit him in one of the previous phases. Clermont break from a line out. Tixeron bursts down the line, looking for support inside, but Porter gets back to cut out the pass to Jeannot, and Jeannot would have been in under the post if we had actually found him. Great scramble defence there. Penalty to Leinster at the resulting scrum. Leinster then changed their halfbacks, Fintan Gunn and Ross Byrne coming on. We have a scrappy period where much of the play then is between the 10 metres lines. Leinster then tried to increase the pressure for the last couple of minutes. We have a good carry from Henshaw, snipe from Gunn. Then Barrett making ground out wide. They bring it back inside, but then there's eventually an error where, normally you would see them kind of going in under post to score, come back for the penalty, and it just kind of sums up the night. Leinster decide to go for the tap, but Gunn doesn't actually tap it. And then Clermont knock on after the resulting scrum, and that's it. Full time 15-7. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the stats from the game. So let me pull them up here. I got them. There we go. Okay, so two tries to 1. So not the try fest that a lot of people were hoping for. Conditions again played a part in it, but I think there was a lot more than that. Set piece, line out very poor for Leinster, and for Clermont, the scrum was poor for them as well. And then generally the handling, conditions notwithstanding, poor as well. Kicking success then 67% for Leinster, 100% for Clermont, but there weren't all that many kicks at goal. Attack then, meters made 487 for Leinster, 297 for Clermont. So Leinster making decent ground, 156 carries to 90 for them. So both teams making round about 3 meters. I think Leinster maybe slightly more, but very close between them. Clean breaks then 8-7 in favour of Leinster. Defenders beaten 23-24. So fairly even there. Offloads 8 each as well. Passes 172-74. Possession 55% for Leinster to 45, and territory 59-41. So generally, we see Leinster with that amount, you would expect, as was expected before the game, that they'd actually come away with a bonus point try, but didn't even get close to it, honestly, in this game. Tackles made then 111-136. Leinster tackling is 78%, which is decent for them, given that they're using a rush defence. 80% for Clermont isn't too bad either, especially when you look at, a lot of the teams this weekend have been in kind of the low 70s. Turnovers 1 then, 9 for Leinster, 11 for Clermont. On the set piece then, this is where things were very funny. Leinster 9 lineouts, 1-7 for Clermont. Leinster 60% at the lineout. Like, that is just absolutely atrocious. And then 100% for Clermont. Leinster not even able to put any kind of pressure really on theirs. I think one time they got up there and made one awkward, but then they made a mistake straight after. Scrums then, though, much better for Leinster. 7 out of 7, 100%. Clermont, 10-1 for them, but they were down at 91%. But still, not too terrible. But it was Leinster that were winning the penalties at the scrums. Kicking then, kicks from hand 23-34. Leinster making 735 metres, which is decent, but Clermont breaking the 1,000 metre mark, 1,015. From 10 kicks then, 2 for Leinster and 4 for Clermont. And, the kicking was a decent tool for Clermont, but again, they couldn't really back it up in terms of, taking advantage of the meters that actually it got them. Breakdown then, 92 rucks won for Leinster. You always expect that to be high from them. 65 for Clermont. Rucks lost 3-2, and ruck success 94% for each team. Turnovers won to ruck 9-11. Then mauls, Leinster were 400% for them, and 3 for Clermont, 400% as well. But it wasn't really, a maul heavy game. Especially with Leinster's line out malfunctioning, a lot of the time during the game, and then also Clermont not really being able to get theirs going. I thought Leinster dealt with their maul, when they had to, pretty well, especially compared to the way they've handled other mauls. Maul meters made then just 4-3, and then on to discipline. Penalties conceded, 6 for Leinster. Going to be pretty happy with that. Once you're down in kind of lowish single fingers. 15 for Clermont, way too many for them. They're going to have to clean it up. And then that 1 yellow card for the silly move, stepping in front of Prendergast, right in front of the referee. Just stupid. Okay, so quickly on to the two teams then. Some of Leinster's errors definitely can put it down to the weather conditions, but doesn't explain the whole lot of it, and certainly doesn't explain how poor that lineout was. Scrum, much better than last week, but if they want to be like a team that are going to win this title, they've gotten close 3 years in a row, but if they're going to win it, you can't keep going from you fix one area and then the next week you have a problem with another area. You have to kind of have a base of decent set piece, and then your backs, or your attacks are working well. Defense, not too leaky. But it seems to be there's always something to work on. Bench didn't have the impact it did against Bristol either. It's a win, but a hell of a lot for them to work on at this stage. Clermont then, competitive at times, left a few points out there themselves as well. Probably disappointed that they didn't at least come away with a losing bonus point. But again, when they got into position, they couldn't take their chances. And too much for them as well. Too much of the play happened in that middle area of the pitch. And anytime, that there was a knock-on from either team, they were under pressure in the scrum. Again, they did really well against that Leinster lineout, but just couldn't build on that. So, I think both teams honestly are going to come away from this feeling disappointed. But let me know what you think down in the comments.